Okay, let's see if this works this time. Let's see here. Waiting for people to come into the stream. Know that this is not a corrupted database thing or whatever it would be. Here we go. Oh, boom. There we go. Excellent. Welcome. Okay, so a bunch of stuff to talk about. This week is I'm going to be releasing. What's up, Brett? I'm going to be releasing the episode. Hey, Tom, episode 100 of What Makes a Song Great. I'm going to be filming it. It's going to be a couple days. It's going to be a few days to take to film it. I'm excited. I've got Jack is going to play on it, play drums. Les is going to play bass. I am going to play the guitar. What's up, Rob, Dean? Good to see everybody. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that. Because I couldn't figure out, I wanted to find a song that I love that I know wouldn't get blocked. And something that I hadn't done, an artist that I have not done on my What Makes a Song Great series yet. I found it. I'm set. And I just have to, there's some things that I still have to, a couple of things I have to learn in the song. There's some tricky, there's a couple spots, not tricky, but things that I have to learn that I don't. I know most of the parts that I need to know, but this will be fun, though. I'm really looking forward to it. So tomorrow, I think that I'm going to release my Adam Franklin from Swerve Driver interview. I still have to tweak it a bit. I interviewed Adam 2 weeks ago. I'm so psyched about this. This was really exciting. Adam's the singer and one of the guitarists. He's like the main guitar. Well, there's two guitarists, but he plays just incredible parts. And I'm really psyched about it. He actually plays. He actually did which was amazing. There's a song. There's a bunch of songs on his record called Mescal Head that came out in 1993. That on the Swerve Driver record, where I never knew how to play the songs because they all have different alternate tunings. So I said, Adam, can you do a little tutorial? I mean, there's no way you could figure it out unless you knew the tunings. No way. So he did a demo of it for me. He recorded. I said, is there any way you could do just like a quick, 20-second thing on it? And he did a full-on tutorial of the song Duel, which was amazing. I was so psyched. So, Dean, you were listening to Mescal Head today. Oh man, for those of you that don't know Swerve Driver is like my favorite band. Joni could figure it out. These are honestly really weird tunings. Really, yeah, like I said, no way that you'd be able to figure it out, probably. I mean, I guess if I experiment a lot, I don't know. So I've been trying to get Adam on my channel, honestly, since, because I love his guitar playing, I love his singing, his lyrics, I love Swerve Driver. I wrote to him in 2017, and then, the last time I wrote him in 2018, he finally responded this year. Like, he responded in 2021 to my 2018 message. And so I interviewed him, and it was so fun asking him all these questions that I've wanted to ask him. So this is the a lot of cool. Adam Neely is your favorite member of Swerve Driver. I thought I heard Rick say Screwdriver. No, your favorite band. Let's see. Best line: "A million stars are out tonight. Could spark neon from candlelight." Oh, Dean, that is the most amazing line. His lyrics are phenomenal. Oh my God. It's a really cool interview. So I'm gonna play. It'll get demonetized. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I did with the Lukather video, or I've done it. I have to finish doing it, where I talk about a song, then I play part of the song, and so people can know what I'm talking about. Show the album cover. And then for the couple songs that he gave me the tutorials, actually 2 songs he did tutorials for, I'm going to put those in there. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, how many people are going to watch an Adam Franklin interview? I hope everybody watches it. I hope you guys watch it because he's a fascinating guy. He was at the first Swerve Driver record came out 1 week after Nevermind. So you know that I when I said the fall that rocked the world, 1991, Swerve Driver released their record about a month before Loveless by My Bloody Valentine. They toured with Soundgarden in 91, 92. They toured with Smashing Pumpkins. They were the band that Bobby, what's up? Bobby Huff, everyone. Bobby had his first breakout video, finally. If you don't follow Bobby, follow Bobby. Great video. So I don't care if it gets a lot of views on my channel. YouTube cares. The algorithm cares, but I don't care. I just, I love Swerve Driver, and whatever, I can do to, tell people about them. A band that's been around since 1991, but they literally put out their record 1 week after Nevermind, their first record. Raise, exactly. So that's my plan for tomorrow. I interviewed Kurt Rosenwinkel. For those of you jazz guys out there, jazz guys and girls, Dr. Bob, I interviewed Kurt last week. I got that interview coming out. I'm doing a lot of interviews. I'm going to eventually do original content on my podcast, because a lot of these interviews would be great podcasts. Okay, so I have a podcast. How many of you know that I have a podcast? I've asked it on here before, but I have a podcast. It's on Spotify. I've told you about this before, but maybe for new people here, you don't know that my podcast, I have 202 episodes. If you go to Spotify or Apple Music and you look up Sounding Off with Rick Beato, you will see that I have a podcast, and I get, tens of thousands of downloads a month. And I did it because people I started in 2018, but I never told anyone. And I put up just the audio of my videos because I don't want people driving and watching YouTube. So, because it's very dangerous. I know a lot of people will put on YouTube videos and listen to them when they're driving. And I figured, okay, I'll put out a podcast of these things so people, that want to listen to them, especially some of the longer videos and interviews, you can listen to them. But I want to do a dedicated podcast. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Raphael. Oh, this is interesting. Tommy Kiefer and Brian Johnson that you want to talk about? I was talking about Tommy Kiefer in particular, about how with a couple of my friends, about how Cinderella was the only 80s metal band where Tommy's playing a Les Paul and when everybody else was playing pointy headstock guitars. And Tommy was so cool. Guilty of driving with Beato. I know, right? So people do that. They'll put on YouTube, play it through their, and they'll set their thing on the dash or whatever, wherever, and they'll drive and they'll listen to a YouTube video, right? I mean, I'm sure, come on, most of you have done that. So anyway, so I decided to make a podcast like that. So here's the question. When I start making original content for it, which I'm going to start, and it's going to be audio only. I have so much video content out there, but there's so many people that I've wanted to interview. Yes, podcast audio. That's the exact reason too. Kevin said this podcast audio is better in the car than YouTube audio. Exactly. So podcast audio will be close mic'd. I'll use my SM7 and my guest will use same thing. Okay. So, that's one of the main reasons a podcast needs to sound like a podcast. Okay. So that's another thing that I want to introduce. I'd love for you to follow me on there. So I have a question. Should I put the new content on my podcast, which is already established? Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. You're moderating for Tim now? Excellent. Excellent. What do you guys think? Should I just start posting original content on it? Then I'd be at episode, 203 or something. I'm waiting for answers. Yes. No, I think no. I subbed to the podcast to load some things. Audrey says, I remembered and wanted to hear again. Podcast, it will be no. Yes, about fair use. Of course, put it there. Yes, just put it on the one. I'll just put it on there, right? Yeah, original. Yeah, Apple Podcast app. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on the Apple app. It's on tons of places. So subscribe to it. How many people subscribe to it right now? Or how many people don't subscribe to it right now? Yes, please, not another account. Okay, good. Yeah, I wasn't going to just keep going. Let's see. How many people do not subscribe to it? So I can get, when I do interviews on Zoom, okay, if you don't, please subscribe. I tell you what's up there is I can't say it out loud because it'll get transcribed, but my one What Makes This Song Great that's blocked is up there. So if you want to hear it, you can hear it. All right, so everyone there, subscribe to my podcast. That's for listening. If you're walking on the street or whatever, and if you're walking down the street and you want to listen to my videos, that's another way you can do it, where you don't have to log into YouTube and do it. I mean, you can log into YouTube and do it too. It's, no different really, but I think you can download. Do you download podcasts where they're on your phone? I don't know. I listen to podcasts a lot, but I don't even know. I don't even know how they work. You can do them on the phone. Subscribe where, Chops? Yeah. So if you go to Spotify to their podcast, just look up on Apple Podcast or Spotify, or it's a bunch of different places. It's a bunch of different places. So that's a new thing that I'm developing. Okay, my next thing, I'm finally going to come out with a guitar course. Okay, so I haven't announced it. I kind of announced it on Instagram, but I've been working on it, and it'll be out at the end of next month. And it is my Quick Lessons Pro. It's going to be a web-based guitar video course, okay, that based on my quick lessons that I do on Instagram. So where I take the ideas, where I spend 45 seconds or so teaching it, and then I make an actual video with PDFs and everything related to that. It was interesting when Tosin Abasi Tosin made the comment on one of my videos. He said, you should do you should make a course out of these, that he would buy it, I think he said. And I was like, then I talked to him and I said, that's actually a really good idea. And he said, yeah, just expand on them. And I thought, okay, cool. So I've been doing that. So that I'm hoping will be out at the end of next month. And the cool thing about it is that it'll be an online thing that, you'll pay for it, but I'll keep uploading new, every time I put out a quick lesson, I'll have a longer, or every couple times I'll put out the long form versions on there and stuff. So, it's a lot of work, because a lot of these concepts that I talk about, I'm like, quick lesson, and then I throw about 25 things at you. But these things really need to be examined in depth, and I've never really done a guitar course before. Rick, is there a backing track available for the Cardinal Motion solo? Guido, I have the tracks to the song. I could make a backing track. It's not my song. I don't own the song. I couldn't, actually it is on my label. But, yeah, there is no, I don't think I ever made a backing track for, I know I have a backing track for it. I'll look, I'll look into that. When I played with it on the video, I played with the tracks, because I have a Pro Tools session of it. That I have a newer Pro Tools session of it that I made. So, let's see. It doesn't regard. Let's see here. I assume some of your music theory videos were guitar focused. So my label is not active. Don't send me music. It hasn't been active. Well, if you watch my videos, since my friend Johnny, who was my label partner, passed away back in 2011. Yeah, 2011 now. Is that right? Has it been 10 years? I mean, honestly, that is really, I can't believe it. It can't be 10 years. Cannot be 10 years. It was 2011. Oh my God. Johnny would be 41 now. For those of you that watch my video about my label and my dear friend Johnny, it was a video about Johnny, basically, but I didn't want to, say in memoriam. I wanted people to watch the video and see what we did, because that was really important to both of us. Our making our record with Crowfield and Streetside Symphony, and it was really Johnny's pet project. And when Johnny passed, I folded the label, and but I always tell my friends that know Johnny that Johnny would have been a great YouTuber. I mean, really, he would have had a great YouTube channel, I think. He was such an engaging, hilarious guy. Had just incredibly good taste in music. Knew everything. Knew every band, every local band, and every market all over the place. He'd find bands in England and, in Belfast, wherever. Johnny was just absolutely brilliant, and he would have loved, oh my God. My YouTube channel here, he would absolutely have loved this. He wouldn't have just loved it, he would have been great on YouTube. I mean, it's weird, YouTube was around, but it just wasn't like this. He was 31 when he passed away. For those of you that haven't seen the video, you should really check it out. It's when people ask me what my videos that I made last year that were, ones that important videos on my channel, my Aunt Penny tribute, my video on my record label, which is really my Johnny Diamond tribute, my Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven video, those were really important videos. My video with Tim Pierce with Adele on it, that was one of my favorite videos I did last year. So gigging's coming back, Monty, in Charleston. That's awesome. Yeah, I loved going to Charleston. I used to go there a lot. I worked with so many bands there, and the last Need to Breathe record I worked on, which was The Reckoning, I went to Charleston. We did about half the record here and half the record in Charleston. And yeah. Outside 3000 personal stories would fit well on the audio podcast. Yeah. Who is still on the bucket list for this year for one-on-one about guitars and music? Well, the Peter Frampton interview was great, Nick, but that was 2018. Let's see here. Adele doesn't like WAD. That's true. So I have the Kurt Rosenwinkel video coming out, and I've been meaning to talk to Kurt, who I've known for a couple of years. I'm going to do a video with my good friend Jay Graydon, who's Lukather is his best friend. I'd love to interview Alex Lifeson. That would be amazing. The Pat Metheny interview will happen, but probably not until a little bit later in the year. Let's see here. Yeah, so I actually, Bobby says Jay, yes. So I actually started interviewing Jay. Jay lives in LA and wakes up at 9 p.m. So it's hard to interview him. I have to either interview him at like around 12:30 at night for me. And the last time we did it, when we tried it, Jay could not get something working. I forget what it was. Oh my God. It got to be 1:30 and I said, Jay, I can't do it. I'm too tired. And so we decided to move it, but we'll get it happening. Newbie OG says, have I ever crossed paths with Mark Lettieri? I'm very good friends with Mark, and Mark's been on my channel. If you look his name up, I interviewed Mark 4 years ago or so on my channel. I love Mark. Oh, what a great player, man. Oh, Killer player. Last time I saw Mark was at NAMM last year. We hung out. Do I miss producing bands? You know, I've said no for a long time, but I do. Yeah, I miss. It'd be fun to produce a project. Oh boy, I can't believe I said that. It'd have to be the right project. When my assistant Ken comes here, and he comes in and works on videos occasionally, like maybe once a month or so. And it's always fun to have him there because he engineers. I sit back. I sit in my chair in the back of the control room, and we talk to the bands, and then I go out in this room and we work on the songs and it's just really cool. It's really cool. It's really fun. Every time he's here, it's really fun. It just reminds me of the old days of working on projects. I got a couple new mic pre's actually that mic pre's and EQs that I want to try out. That Bobby, you'll be a second engineer. Awesome. I got a couple of Helios mic pre's that I haven't plugged in yet. I got to have Ken hook them up to the patch bay. And so I have some plans for my I've got some plans for my podcast of some cool people to be on it. I'm going to be on Chris Hardwick's ID10T podcast. I wonder if that's a secret. Well, it's coming out like next week or the week after. Any of you know? You guys must know Chris Hardwick, right? You started Nerdist. We did the interview a couple weeks ago, and Chris is a great guy. He's amazing. He's on Talking Dead, and I'm a massive fan of Walking Dead, and I always watch Talking Dead after. So I've been watching Chris for years. Yeah, his ID10T, if you don't know his podcast, it's awesome. Chris is a good musician too. It's funny, he interviewed me. Well, his podcasts are about an hour long, but he interviewed me for 2 hours. So he interviewed me about a lot about music. We talked a lot about music theory. It's really interesting. So I think you'll find it. I think you'll find it interesting. I've never been interviewed. I haven't been interviewed that much. Audrey, yes. ID, then the number 10, then T. ID 10T, like idiot. Yeah, so it was unlike any interview that I've had. Jerry asked if I can get Brendan O'Brien. I've tried, I think about 3 times. Brendan has politely declined. There's really only one interview with Brendan on YouTube. Just one that I've ever seen. There's very few interviews with Brendan. He's very, very, he doesn't like to do interviews, I guess. So I hope that I'm going to get him. So that would be, honestly, Jeffrey is asking about Tim Palmer. I'd like to interview Tim Palmer. I'd like to have some of these I want to interview Andy Wallace for my podcast. I'm working on that. Oh man. I don't know why these people are so they're so difficult to they just come from a different era where they just were not. I mean, I never took pictures with any of the bands or anything that I worked with. I never let them take my picture. I never let them film in the studio. Not me, anyways. Interviewing Bob Clearmountain. Bob would definitely do it. I actually talked to Bob about doing it, so Bob would for sure do it. But yeah, so I am going to kind of expand the type of people that I talk to. I'm going to LA at the end of April to be on a podcast. Boy, I'm getting on all these podcasts with my good friend Eric Weinstein for his podcast called The Portal. Eric is one of the most brilliant human beings that I know. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be the first time I've been on a plane since I guess February last year, something like that. So yeah, so it's Clear Mountain's guy who engineered Hungry Heart. Oh, I got new glasses. I don't know why I'm not wearing them. Where are they? Hold on. What did I do with them? Oh my God. Don't tell me I lost them again. Is this them? No. Oh my God. Okay, I have new glasses that I'm going to debut here. Oh, I must have taken them off. I don't know. Maybe they're in the other room. I can't find them. I got 2 new pairs of glasses. Man, my prescription changed. I can't find my glasses, Bobby said, because I don't have my glasses on. I hadn't gotten new glasses since 2012, and my prescription changed dramatically. They're on the nightstand. Wait, they're not on my head, are they? What's my favorite record store growing up? Oh man, we had record stores right in my hometown, right in Uptown and Fairport. That were great. T-Bone Burnett, that would be great. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing these original podcasts. Probably, I would say, probably within the next month or so. The first thing to do is get this, like once I get my 100th episode of What Makes This Song Great out, then I'm going to be doing them a couple a month again. That's really held me back, not figuring out who to do, what would be a great 100th episode. And this is going to be a killer 100th episode. It's going to be long, though. It's going to be probably, it might even be an hour long. The Record Archive, I love the Record Archive, Buzzy. I used to go to the Record Archive all the time. What's Dylan's channel? Dylan took down all of his videos. Dylan had about 1,000 subscribers. I forget what his name was now. I forget what the name was for it. Something, I can't remember now. The Record Archive was a great record store. I don't think it's still in existence. No, it can't be. How about an interview with Al Schmidt? Do you know that Al Schmidt is 90 years old? It's unbelievable. What's up, Martin? Good to see you. 90 years old. Still working. Still working. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited about some of the Neil Schoen interviews going to happen too. I'm kind of excited about some of the videos that I have coming up this year. I'm going to go back to my hometown and make a video walking through the streets in my old hometown in upstate New York. And I want to make a video in Ithaca too. These were really important places, and there's I want to recapture kind of the feeling of I want to see if I can kind of capture the nostalgia of the early 70s, late 60s in my hometown, and walk the streets. I just think it would be interesting. It might not be interesting to you guys, but Elliot, Ithaca is such a cool place. Oh my God, Ithaca, New York. For those of you who've never been to Ithaca, New York, oh man, it's one of the most beautiful places. The parks that are there, Taganic Falls and Fall Creek, and I used to walk up the gorges from the base. I used to live down near, like, there's a pathway, there used to be anyways, where you could walk all the way from in town up to Cornell University, and I would hike there up through the gorges. And Carl Sagan lived. He didn't live on that particular gorge. He lived on a different gorge, and his house was right built into the mountain. I used to go by Carl's house all the time. I used to see Carl lecture when he would lecture occasionally at Cornell. Sometimes they would have open lectures, and I would go see Carl. I mean, Carl Sagan. How cool is that, right? It's unbelievable. Cornell University. Carl Sagan lived right in Ithaca. Pale blue dot. Yeah, Taganic Falls. I stood at the top of Taganic Falls and looked down over the edge. Oh my God, that was scary. I would go swimming in the pools at the top of Taganic Falls. How high is Taganic Falls? It's really high. Let's see here. How high is Taganic Falls in Ithaca, New York? Hey Siri, how high is Taganic Falls in Ithaca, New York?
Here's an answer from wikipedia.org. Taganic Falls main cataract is a 215-foot drop, 66 meters, making it 33 feet, 10 meters, taller than Niagara Falls. It is the tallest single drop waterfall east of the Rocky Mountains.
Tallest waterfall east of the Rocky Mountains is in Ithaca. Taganic Falls, 215 feet up. I stood at the edge and looked over like a moron. Man, so stupid. Isn't that crazy? And then I would go swimming. So they have these pools up near the top that they just be kind of like a 5-foot pool, maybe 20 feet from where it goes over the 215-foot drop. I've never been to Yellowstone Park. 215 feet, highest waterfall east of the Rockies. Taganic Falls. Thank you, Rich. So I went to the grocery store tonight, And there was a guy playing outside, and I said, "Do you mind if I film you?" Like, there's a guy who's probably 70 or so. He was in the parking lot. He was sitting on his car, on the bumper of his car, and he had a small kick drum, a hi-hat, his guitar, mic with a harmonica on the stand, singing through a little battery-powered amp. And there was almost no one there. It was just an empty parking lot. And he was out there busking, yes. So I said, "Can I record you?" So this is him. Hold on, let me find it. His name was Seminole Jackson. Of course I tipped him. Anyways, it was awesome. I watched a couple songs. It was great. So that was my wife's like, "I know there's a guy that I've seen out there before." Then I showed her the video. She said, "No, that wasn't him." That is what music is about right there. But in a parking lot, I asked him, I said, "How long have you been out here tonight?" He said, "Since 6:00. And it was whatever time, 9 maybe. It's warm here in Atlanta tonight. It was 71 when I was driving. When I left the parking lot, I specifically looked and I thought, "Wow, thank you, Tebow. Appreciate that." I thought, "Wow, it was a really nice night. No code. It was almost 80 degrees here today." But yeah, the guy was. I asked, he had 2 hats with money in it, and he was having a good time. Let's see here. Demonetized. Boom. I should interview him. Well, I got his name. So, so I've got some ideas too for my what makes this song great. For some of the other ones that I'm going to do this year. So this year I want to do more contemporary music. I want to do like I said, more what makes the song greats. Do more theory videos and get the podcast going. So Nuno Betancourt. I was thinking about Nuno. I follow Nuno on Instagram, and man, he's a great player. Please jazz. Yeah, I'm gonna do more jazz, more Justin Bieber. Looking forward to seeing Rhett and Dave back. I'll have Rhett and Dave back too. And I have another video of the What If solo on I already have a couple songs cut for that. So anyways, all right. You guys are great. I'm going to go. This has been really, really enlightening. Thank you so much. What makes this album great? John said, I am going to do that. I have the first album picked out, and I was talking about it tonight with Keith from 5 Watt World. So we'll talk later. We'll see you guys. Take care.